Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
I've never felt power like this before.
So today I am here to review the 6th film in the X-Men cinematic universe, or if you technically want to include both Wolverines and Deadpool, that would make it the 9th installment in the X-Men cinematic universe, and of course that is the brand new Bryan Singer directed X-Men Apocalypse. This time we go back to, or in the movie scenario, forward into the early 1980s, and at this point in time, Charles Xavier, who is played brilliantly once again by James McAvoy, is building up a brand new school for mutant students with hopes for bigger plans in the future. But due to recent circumstances involving Magneto, once again played by Michael Fassbender, as well as Raven Darkholme, aka Mystique, returning once again played by Jennifer Lawrence, there may be something more afoot, as there is a brand new threat who happens to be known as the very first mutant, and that is En-Sabah, or as the comic book faithful know him as, Apocalypse. Now, I will say this. I am a big fan of this X-Men universe. I really appreciate that even though things were not what they could have been when they first released the first one in 2000, they had done a bang-up job with very good stories, as well as a great bunch of actors playing some of the most beloved characters in comics history. And yes, that includes for me X-Men The Last Stand. Even though it is the weakest of the bunch, I still do enjoy the film. And we also have to give credit to Bryan Singer for putting in a little dig towards X-Men The Last Stand in this brand new film. So, I don't understand why a lot of people were saying that this was a bad movie. As a matter of fact, I think that it was a very enjoyable movie. It is not as strong as First Class or Days of Future Past, but that doesn't make it a bad movie. There were great things that were throughout the film, great scenes that were tributes to the comics, as well as probably one of the best depictions of the X-Men team at the very end of this film. We also have a great bunch of newcomers, including Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones, and Ty Sheridan playing Cyclops and Jean Grey, as well as other loved mutants, including Nightcrawler, Psylocke, Storm, and Archangel. And let's not forget the fact that Oscar Isaac, who is one of my favorite actors in Hollywood today, played Apocalypse, as we all know. But is this movie perfect? No, it is far from perfect. The first thing is Apocalypse himself. It's not that Oscar Isaac did a bad job. He did a very good job, and as a matter of fact, he looked like Apocalypse right out of the comics. As a matter of fact, there's a line from the X-Men cartoon that he says in this film, which I absolutely loved. But the problem with him in this movie is the fact that they sort of made him very, very distant. Now, granted, he is a character that distances himself from the rest of the mutants out there, but they put him in a scene, and then they do a whole bunch of other things, and then they put him back in there, and they're like, oh yeah, Apocalypse is in this movie, I almost forgot about him. The plot, I guess, along with Apocalypse himself, could have been tweaked just a teensy bit just to make it feel a little bit more even flow. Another thing that I didn't like was the fact that there were certain characters that I truly believe deserved more character development and more screen time. Particularly two of the horsemen of Apocalypse in this film, which were Angel and Psylocke. I don't understand why Angel has been shafted a second time. He got shafted in X-Men The Last Stand because he could have been a very good predominant character, because he really is one of the deeper mutants in the X-Men universe, and in this movie it's no different, and they don't even give him a past at all. They did do a great job with Charles Xavier's past, with the story that involves Magneto, as well as Cyclops and Jean Grey, but there could have been a little bit more, and even Nightcrawler didn't get the true screen time that I feel that he deserves. The X-Men Jubilee, who has been touted so highly as being an integral piece of this movie, and yet she's not even there for more than a total of 5 minutes. I still think that this movie is very worthy of seeing in the theaters. There's plenty of great surprises for all X-Men fans of the comics and the films, and don't even get me started on how excited I am after the post-credits scene, because I know for a solid fact that we're going to get another X-Men movie. It looks like Bryan Singer is going to be at the helm, and I'm sure that all of the new actors that are portraying some of the characters that we have seen on film since 2000 will be back to do another good job. X-Men Apocalypse is definitely worth seeing. It's a movie I'm really excited to add to my collection and see multiple times. I really hope that there is some kind of a director's cut. Maybe we'll get the Jubilee cut as opposed to the Rogue cut with X-Men Days of Future Past. So I'm going to give X-Men Apocalypse 3 out of 4. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys about new movies, so please put your comments in the box below and let me know what your thoughts are on X-Men Apocalypse. And I also want to make this perfectly clear. Now that I have seen 4 comic book films out there, I do think that this one is better than Captain America Civil War. So I am the Lawn Gnome. I will see you in the next one, and actions speak louder than words.